What a thriller in the Western Conference Finals last night. Hi, everyone. Welcome to First Take. My name is Shay Cornett. We got Dan Housen on of Bonata here. Mike Wilbon's in the house with me today. Hello.
Happy to be here, Shay.
Let's do it. We're holding it down for Chicago and then out in L.A., Stephen A. Smith and Cameron. Hi, guys.
Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing?
What's up? I mean, Shay, good morning, Shay. I'm trying to figure out why Mike Wilbon is there in New York. I don't know if I should generate a protest that blocks Mike Wilbon from being in New York City.
Why you
let
want to
alone
block me
at a
from,
Knicks game because he's not here. He is not here for good news for the New York Knicks. This is what Wilbon does.
So let me tell you this real quick, Stephen A. Smith. And it's a pleasure to meet you, Mike. I'm a big fan.
Cameron,
big fan.
thank you.
This is the trailblazer.
Of course, we all know that.
This is the OG. This is who makes this happen. This doesn't happen without Wilbon.
We all know that, but that doesn't mean we can't come up with a scheme to keep him from Madison Square Garden. We got to figure out something because he is not on our side at all.
Wait a minute. The leading man for the New York Knicks, remind us where he's from, Stephen A. Jalen Brunson is from where? Produced by where?
Chicago.
Thank you, Shay. Thanks.
This is a fact.
So, with that said,
we're
we're going to talk about the Knicks a little bit later on. For now, let's go to the West here in the Western Conference Finals. Spurs and Thunder in Game 1, and my goodness, did last night not disappoint at all. Before the game even tipped off, though, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was handed his second straight MVP trophy. However, it was hard for him to live up to that MVP caliber with the way the Spurs defended him. SGA only shot 7 of 23 from the floor. He committed 4 turnovers along the way as well. He did still finish with a double-double. However, Victor Wembanyama also had a double-double. His was a little more next level. 41 points, 24 boards, and 49 minutes of work. Wemby did have help from all over to give them a Game 1 win in double OT. 122-115 was the final. But here was Wemby being asked about Shai winning MVP.
Pretty natural response for a competitor to see another competitor get something that he wants, whether it's the MVP trophy or whatever it might be. I'm just curious if that was in your mind at all, knowing that Shai had got that award and you were in the top 3 for it. And, did any part of tonight feel personal? Some of your facial expressions kind of look like you were really, really going for it.
Yeah, for sure. Everything you just said. I still got a lot to learn. And I want to get that trophy, many times in my career.
Oh, boy. All right, so we have a motivated Wemby, a Game 1 win on the road for the Spurs. Stephen A., are the Thunder in trouble after last night?
I believe they are only from this standpoint. I'm with Wilbon and Wendy and what both of them said earlier on Get Up. In terms of not overreacting to one game, but we do have 2 eyes. I've got 20/20 vision. I know I need my reading glasses from time to time, but for the most part, I see pretty damn well. And what I saw last night there is definitely cause to pause and to be very, very concerned. Cameron's going to get on me about this. Wilbon's going to get on me because Wilbon can't help himself. But I'm just going to be honest, because the honest broker that I am. I didn't sleep well last night. I didn't sleep well last night because I'm a native New Yorker. Obviously with huge aspirations for the Knicks, and we'll talk about them later. But I'm watching that brother Wembanyama last night, and I said, oh, my God, what answer is there possibly for this brother? He's 22 years of age, over 40 points, 24 rebounds, several blocks, and I'm looking at it, and I said, listen, Oklahoma City, they need Jalen Williams to play in this series in order for them to win. Well, he was there last night. And Caruso had a career game last night. And the San Antonio Spurs didn't have De'Aaron Fox last night due to his sore ankle. And they still won the damn game. And when we talk about youth and all of this other stuff, it's not like they came out like gangbusters and ran away with it, even though they started the game on a 7-0 run. It went to double overtime. And their composure didn't dissipate at all. They didn't flinch. And I'm looking at this and I'm saying, Oklahoma City has lost 5 of 6 games to this team this year. You can't come back from this team down 0-2. You're not beating the San Antonio Spurs in this series if you fall 0-2. Game 2 is a must-win situation. If not, the San Antonio Spurs are going to the finals. That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, Wilby, just so you know, the Spurs are my team. And it's been my team since Sean Elliott's been there, A.V. Johnson, so on and so forth. So me and Mitch Johnson coached them the victory last night. I was at the TV yelling everything I said Mitch did. The reason I'm bringing that up is because Stephen A. is taking credit for the Knicks coming out of 2-1 deficit to Atlanta. He said that's because of him.
The motivational speech that I gave Will Barn right in front of you. About they were undefeated ever since.
He's taking credit for that. Not only that, for turning the organization around when he said that the Dallas Cowboys were a better organization, so the New York Knicks. So basically, I'm taking credit for the win as well last night. But everything you just said was correct, Stephen A. When I'm sitting there thinking about this, and I love Stephon Castle. I think he's going to be top 5 player in the next 2-3 years. And he has 11 turnovers. He had a unique triple-double. He had a double-double on assists and points, but 11 turnovers. And they still come up with this win. What I really loved about this was that I usually see Coach Mitch, relax, cool. He was getting up in people last night. He was holding people responsible. 6 Man of the Year, Johnson. Come sit on the bench with me. You miss out on assignments. Dylan Harper, let me talk to you. You're not closing out on 3 points, 3-point shots. I thought that he did an exceptional job, even though Mark Dagnall did a great job. I thought it was a great basketball mind game, but it's just certain things you can't coach. When you go in transition in your first overtime and Wemby pulls from 27, 28 feet to send it in the double overtime, that's not on your X's and O's board. So like you said, Caruso had a great game. SGA subpar so far during the playoffs this far. But when you have this much talent and this young, I was very impressed. Are they going to win? I'm not going to be a prisoner of the moment, but I will say this. Without De'Aaron Fox, 23 turnovers, and still end up winning this game, OKC they better be on high alert. They better be on high alert.
Yeah, Cameron, Stephen A., I agree with everything you guys have said about it. Looked like the kind of game, if you just didn't see the game and you looked at the box score and the stories, you would say, okay, wait a minute. There's enough that went wrong here for San Antonio and enough that went right for OKC. OKC did not play badly. I mean, they did a lot of things that usually help the Thunder, pull out a victory or steal one if they were on the road. They needed to steal one at home last night. But there are so many elements that worked ultimately against OKC, and the number one is Wembanyama. I mean, he had a game last night. To me, numbers don't need to come into play here. Impressions come into play. And when you saw all of those San Antonio players staring at Wembanyama admiringly late in the game, and he's looking back at them, and they're staring at him, they're in awe of their teammate, and they should be in awe of him. The whole league should be in awe of him. The basketball world should be in awe of Wembanyama. And I'm one of those people who has been thinking, and I have said a number of times, you need heartbreak. You have to have it. Everybody except Bill Russell, Magic Johnson, and Tim Duncan have had despair in the playoffs before winning. No matter how great you are, whether you were Michael Jordan or Kobe and Shaq or LeBron or Allen Iverson, going back, Jerry West, you can go back, those 3 guys are the only exceptions. It looks like Victor Wembanyama, if they win game 2, and Stephen A., I'm with you on this, game 2 is now a must game.
Absolutely.
For Oklahoma City. It is a must game because I don't see them recovering from 0-2 hole and then having to go on the road. It's amazing what happened last night and what appears to be control of the series for San Antonio.
Listen, perhaps we'll get into this later, but damn it, I'm going to bring it up now because I got stuff on my mind. I'm looking at Wembanyama. Yes, I know he's 7'5" and he's dominant. And listen, to make the shot is incredibly impressive. But to be 22 years of age, it's your first playoff series, okay? It's your first, not playoff series, but really conference finals, right? And